I was having a clean out of my studio and I found this notepad, but it's a real mess. I've had it a long time. So what I'm going to do is recover it because I like the pages on the inside, but obviously I don't like the outside. And this is something that you can do with any pad. All I need to do is remove this coating on here. I want to remove the whole lot. All I'm doing is popping a blade underneath it. Now, if it wasn't a plasticky coating and it was just paper, I wouldn't bother to remove it. But as you can see, it's got a really plastic coating over the top. And I want to remove it from the inside. So I'm quickly going to cut down there so that when I come round, it'll just come off. For what I had intended, or what I've got intended, I should say, not what I had intended. If I don't take this off, then what I'm going to put on there isn't going to stick. If just the plastic comes off like it has done there, that's fine. I don't need to worry about taking the paper off here. Well, I've got that as clean as I need it to be now and most of it off. I'm going to have to repair it there, but that's not a problem. And now I really don't need to do anything more to that book for quite a while. I've got a piece of tin here, and this is an old can. I've shown how to do this in lots of videos, how to get it like this and get them flat. I'll link the video at the end of this one if you're not sure how to do it. And I've got my little planishing hammer. Now, I bought this a while back for a project I was doing, and I think it cost me, I don't know, about £8. I'm not sure. I'll link it in the description below, because what I want to do is cover this on there using this planishing hammer. So I'm going to go around on this and planish it right the way down to get that pattern. It doesn't take too long and it grows quite quickly. You don't have to hit very hard either, which is great. Just as long as you overlap where you've hit previously, and if you miss a bit, just go back in and do it. And look at the pattern that you get from that. It's really pretty. And I like it on both sides, but I like the underside better. I'm going to go ahead, I'll finish that off, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do next. Well, that's all finished now. I'm loving how that's coming out. Really great texture. I want the sides of this to be quite neat. So I'm going to use my mat here to help me get the sides straighter. What I'm doing on here is marking on here. When I get those two sides done, then I can use those two sides to get the rest done. And this cuts really easily. All I'm using here is a normal pair of scissors to cut along there. And be careful when you're handling this. It can have some sharp bits on it. And now I've got those two edges done like that. Square them up on my mat. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfectly square. Right, and let's just move those out of the way so I don't go grabbing them and cutting myself with them. And I want this to go on here like that, because I've got a border I plan to put on there. So I just need to bring this in a little bit more. And now I've got a straightish edge there. I know that if I cut this, just not taking I could have measured it, I suppose. Ah, perfect. So now I need to glue this to here, and that's not going to be too much of a problem. Now I'm going to be using this Impact Instant Adhesive. I love this stuff for most things. It really does work well. What I'm going to do is put a thin coat on here and then a thin coat on there as well. Now this stuff does smell, so I would recommend you work in a well ventilated area. You don't need a great deal. You need a covering like this of it on there. But right up to the edges, even though we're not going to be going right up to the edges. It won't hurt. Okay, and then I'm going to put that to one side. And then I'm going to put an even coat over the back of this as well. And now I'm going to leave those for about 3 or 4 minutes just to cure up a little bit. So that's had about 3 minutes now. And what I'm going to do is move this bit of paper because I try not to get glue everywhere. And now I'm going to put these two sides together and put a couple of weights on them and then leave that overnight to dry. Once it's left overnight, that will make a really solid bond on there. Now I'm going to need some corrugated card for the next part once that's dry. And I'm going to damp this down a little bit first and then leave that to soak for a few minutes. And now that's soaked a little bit, I should be able to take that off. I should be able to pull that off like this. I'm using a pair of tweezers just to help me get under it, and that should take that top layer off and leave me with the corrugated card that I want underneath. Don't want to leave it too long because I don't want the underneath bit to get saturated. And that's nice and neat like that. So I'm going to go ahead. I'll finish off doing this bit. And this is just an old Amazon box. So that's got all that off. Far more than what I need. But it doesn't matter. Better to have more than not enough. And this top layer, I won't chuck it because I'm a hoarder. I will use that to make my own paper mache with. I'll put it in a little bucket. Right, well that's come out lovely. And while that's drying, I want to prep these. These are just pieces of resin-crete that whenever I have resin-crete left over, I often make bits in some of my moulds to be able to use at a later date. So I'm going to be using these. And because it's lovely and dry and cured, they do last quite well. And I just pop them in little pots like this. But I want to prep these ready to be able to glue them on because I don't want to actually use resin-crete to glue these on. I want to use the same glue that I've previously used. So to do that, all I'm going to be using is the matte sealer that resin-crete provide, and that'll stop this being so porous and allow the glue to sit on there and glue these down. It's ever so easy to use. We'll probably need one coat of this. That'll be enough. Well, actually, I say one coat. I go over it 3 times with that first coat, and that is to make sure that I've got everywhere. Now, I might use some of these. I might use all of them. I might use none of them. But at least if I want them, they're ready and prepped. If I don't use them, then I put them in a separate pot that I label already prepped so I know that they're done. Well, that's all nice and dry now. And what I'm going to do is cut myself some strips of this, which is the corrugated cardboard, and add that onto the sides here. That'll cover up the raw edges of that metal can and give me a finishing border. And now all I'm going to do is pop some glue on the back of this and then stick it to where that glue has already dried. And it won't need much at all. Thin layer going across the whole thing. There we go. I'll leave that for a few seconds or about a minute and a half to dry off. And now I can put that on there. Push it right to the edge. Push it down. Oh, I didn't put any on the metal bit. And now I'll finish that off with corrugated paper going all the way around. Well, I've got that now done, and I've decided which ones of these I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using the dragon, be about there, because there are dragons on the inside of this book. I'll show you when it's done. I'm going to put these in the corners like that. Oh, and look. And then I'm going to have 3 butterflies. I might have 4, but I did just break. Oh no, I've got a spare one, which is already done. Yeah, I'm going to have those 4 butterflies going up there like that. There's one other thing I might pop on this before I do that. I think that's going to look really good. This is what I love about crafting. You can adapt it as you go. Yeah, I'm definitely going to do that. I'm going to add some twine. This twine going all the way around on there like that. On the edge, on both edges. I'm going to put it on the inside edge to start with and then see what it looks like. And then I will... Yeah, I'm going to put it on the inside edge first. I'm not going to use this glue for that. I'm going to be using the Yoo-Hoo all-purpose glue. Metal down as easy as the other glue did, though, to the book. Be my starting point, roughly in the middle there. And all I've got to do is go around, push that into that glue that I've already put on there. Right up to the edge. Oh, I like that. I think that finishes that off really well. Should I put it around the outside? Let's have a look. No, I'm not going to put it around the outside. I think that would look too much, and then I'd have to cut this down as well, and I don't want to have to do that. I think it looks nice in there. So going back to what I was doing, I'm going to put that there, and I'll use this same Yoo-Hoo glue now. These backs have been sealed. Put these on with. All I need to do is do a little bit on the back of there like that. Put it down. Then leave this to dry. I'll probably leave it to dry overnight because it's getting quite late here now, and I really ought to go and have something to eat. Do you lose track of the time when you're crafting and forget to eat? I might put a little bit there as well. Balance it off a little bit. Well, I'm putting the twine away now because I'm getting carried away with it because I'm loving it so much. But what I've done is I've made some little twine twirls here as well. And glue those on the corners. Not only is that going to hide my joins, but I think it gives enough texture on here to break it up as well. So what I'm going to do is give it a quick coat of black acrylic paint. I could spray it if I wanted to, but the trouble is I can't get into all the nooks and crannies with a spray. as well. Well, this is all lovely and dry now, so I can do the next stage. What I've done is I've covered all the pages and taped off the edges as well inside. Because if not, I know what I'm like for this next stage. I'll end up getting paint or something all over those bits and ruining it. And sticking all the pages together because I've done it before. What I'm going to do now is I'm using this Colour Shift paint by Rust-Oleum. I'm going to give it a nice even spray, both the front and the back. You do need a black base for this. That's why I painted it black. Whenever you're spraying, always work in a well-ventilated area and use a mask as well. You don't want to be breathing in any spray. We'll leave that to dry and then I'll come back to it and show you what else I'm going to do. That's all dry now. And I think it's come out really, really pretty as it is. The Colour Shift, I love that Colour Shift paint. But obviously, I'm not leaving it just as that. I've got a couple of more things I want to do to this before I consider it to be finished. So first thing I'm going to do is dry brush some silver acrylic paint over it. And all you do is you have a little bit of paint on your brush, knock some out on a bit of cloth, and then lightly go over it so it picks up that paint. The raised bits pick up that paint. I'm loving that texture that we put in through that can. And that I think really does allow it to tone down that Colour Shift a little bit in places, but also raise some highlights on it. Now I'm going to use a little bit of white and do the same thing with a bit of white, but I'm not going to be quite as heavy-handed on it as that. All I want to do is lighten up some more bits over the top of that silver. Yeah, that has lifted that up a little bit more in places. Now I'm going heavier. Now I'm going to finish off with slightly different technique onto some of the bits. So what I'm going to use now is my own mixture of chameleon flakes. And they're just all the colours I get left over with out of my pots. And I chuck them in one pot and then use them. I'm using some gilding glue on the butterfly wings and a little bit on the dragon wings as well. And that's not going to take too long to dry. Now I'm going to put some of this on a brush. Try not to get it everywhere. And it should only stick where you've put the gilding glue. And now I'm going to put a different colour on the body of the actual dragon. All I'm going to go around now is with a bit more gilding glue. So I'm going to pop that on in the same way. Brushing it on lightly where I've put the gilding glue. Give that a bit of a burnish over. And now the last thing I'm going to do is just go over this base here with a bit of silver wool just to lift it up in places. I don't want to go right back to the silver. All I'm trying to do is give it a bit of a more texture. And the last thing I'm going to do is give it a light spray now with this sealer. It's a gloss sealer and it will really seal everything in. Well, now that's all dry, all I need to do is take off my brown paper from here and my masking tape, which protected all my pages. And now that is all finished. I'm really pleased with the way it's come out. I love all the different colours and how they react on there when you move them around. That is the great thing about chameleon flakes and the colour shifting spray. It looks much I haven't done anything with the back because I like the back nice and flat. Looks much better than it did before I started. It was easy. I'm not sure if this is an upcycle. Would you call it an upcycle? Yeah. And now it works as a notepad really well. Hope you've enjoyed that video. I'll link something similar that I've done before up next, so check that one out. Boot that like button, hit that subscribe button, but most of all, enjoy your crafting. Take care. Bye.